spot on. I don't want to order a big sheet of bloody 9mm ply for it to sit in here with all the rest of the crap and sit there for like 3 months. That's what's, I know I said it yesterday, but I'm really happy with this. I think I'm going to continue doing some framing. I do need to start thinking about where the power sockets are going. I could always work on the framing for this bad boy. But yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? Morning. Just practicing for when I have some camping friends. God, there's got to be something to do with this window because it's quite stiff. 9mm, 9mm fluff. I need to order some more things. I don't want to order a big sheet of bloody 9mm ply for it to sit in here with all the rest of the crap and sit there for like 3 months. That's what's going to happen. But that's kind of what I need to do, isn't it? Let's get some dimensions to take to B&Q. I feel like once the amount of difference having the ply there, and there will make. I'm probably gonna need some framing that side of the window and framing this side of the window. I guess this is what we can work on next. I guess we need to know exactly where the framing's going so I can then start cutting the insulation to the correct size. I think for this, probably need to cut away a little bit more. There's just all these different things going off in my head. Like, for the finish, do I have the ply up against the black trim? Do I put this lower? So I'm still not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing. So this is kind of like a brainstorming session. Little shelves, and then guess what we can have on these little shelves? LEDs. Okay, so maybe I'll go, I'm going to stick this where I require electric. So if we go LED and maybe a USB. Yeah, I think if we go LED and USB, I need to write these down. We'll post it. Yeah, I think put the phone up there to charge, that's where I can leave it. Have a little LED there, turns on as part of the ambiance lighting. So this is gonna be the kitchen. So I'm gonna need a socket down here for the dishwasher. Lovely jubbly. And then I'm gonna need a above counter electrics. So I need to get a rough idea of what electrical stuff I'm going to be installing, as I do need to start thinking about the wiring and the routes that I'm going to be taking. I feel like one of the worst things you can do when designing your own camper van is forgetting about the electrics and then trying to figure out how to install a cable after everything is already installed, like your walls, your insulation, and you have nowhere to route it. But seeing as I don't have the cabling yet and haven't ordered the cabling, I think I can still at least finish the framing. So I start to think about how I can do the framing over the window area. Right now, I think what I want to do today is I want to finish this framing across here. I need to figure out the framing around this window. So the first decision, or one of the decisions I need to make, is how much of a gap below the window should I put the windowsill. I don't want it to be too big, but I don't want it to be too small. So I guess now it's time to start making those decisions. Yeah, I suppose actually 9mm will pretty much be perfect for that top bit. It'll go along there perfectly, and then it only shows that part of the black. It's just the curve. That's the issue, is that curve. How do I do the curve? Because I can go with like a similar rectangular frame like that. But then what happens? So yeah, if you imagine the ply, I don't know if you can see it, but the ply there, ply here. Do I just go with a square like box?
So I'm not sure if you can see from this angle, but I'm just struggling to figure out how to make it look nice and neat with the curve of the window. For me, it looks like the best solution with my skills would be to box it and then just fill the curve bit with some black paint. I know that sounds pretty terrible, but I know in my brain it should look alright, and I guess you'll see it in 2 years' time. It's also tough working in a van where you can't really use a spirit level or any other assisting tools to help you get things straight.
I just have to do it by eye. Okay, so I think that looks like it does look like it's fairly straight, and then I'm putting it against the window. Yeah, it does look. Yeah, it looks straight enough. I mean, yeah. You're not gonna notice it, but oh, that don't look straight. But this is going to be used to attach the ply to box the window. So obviously it goes against the window like that. So if it's too slanted, you'll obviously see the slant where this ply meets the window. Does that make sense? You'll just see it slightly, and I mean it does look like it's potentially slightly slanted, but it's very minimal. It's kind of.
So the slant on the wood is very minimal and shouldn't really affect the overall look, because the only bit that's going to be shown on the angle, I guess, is the bit around the window. The wall itself is just going to be covering all this framing, so we should be good. It is of course very hard to explain what is in my brain and explaining it to how it's going to look as the finished product. So what I will be doing at the end of this project is I will be releasing videos for each stage of the build, focusing on that particular area where I can explain everything and then show the finished product.
I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go with 80 mil height for the windowsill. So just an 80 mil. So I mean it's not massive amount. That's 80 mil. The yellow of the tape is 80 mil. So that's how much gap there's going to be at the windowsill. Yeah, so 80 mil, I don't think that's crazy. So what I'm going to probably have to do is just cut back that little bit as well.
So I'm measuring to cut a little bit more off these metal struts, as I will be leaning some of the windowsill on that area. So I will also be using my new multi-tool, which is perfect for this job. I absolutely love this tool, and it cuts through the metal like butter. I would highly recommend getting one of these tools.
There we go. So the other good thing is to scrape this off as well. This comes with another. So this is a multi-tool. It comes with another piece, which also can be used to scrape things.
So I replace the attachment so then I can scrape off the last remaining residue of the foam. So the final design is going to be the windowsill will be held up by a wooden frame one side and the metal struts the other side.
Look at that, that's freaking spot on. That is actually spot on. Oh, look at that. Freaking too good, freaking perfect. Stuff on there. My windowsill. Look at that. Absolutely spot on.
So there was a lot of brainstorming today, a lot of figuring out, and I feel a little bit more confident about moving forward with the project. As I've said before, I will be introducing more daily life of living in the van to the vlogs, but please bear with me as I'm trying to juggle the live streaming and the vlogs, but I'll do my very best. Again, if you like the content and you want to keep seeing the channel grow, then please hit that like and subscribe. And of course, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you again for your support. I appreciate you. Peace out.